Welcome back. It's the fourth and final hour, 3 Me in Front, as we broadcast live from the Taco Terrace. Burr and so many other great listeners joining us here every Tuesday as we broadcast until 2 o'clock. It's Social Taco today. You get the mix and match tacos. How about the chicken feathers to get you started? They're delicious with the different dipping sauces. We have them here at the table. Also, there'll be the Mexican pizzas, burritos, salads, sandwiches. So much to choose from at Social Taco. Don't forget about half off happy hour, 3 to 6 on the patio or here inside, Monday through Friday, socialtaco.bar for more information. We continue here on 3-Man Front. Meat, as he is affectionately known. He is a personality. He is a character, but he's also a University of Alabama graduate. Demetri Ravanos joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Meat, how are you on this Tuesday?
I'm fighting through the flu just for you boys today.
Fighting through the flu. I had a touch of something. I'm not sure what it was. Conrad is dealing with, Lord knows what Conrad's dealing with. You've got the flu. Are you sure that it's the flu? Have you tested positive? And what type of flu is it?
It is flu A, and listen, I am married to a doctor. We have stacks of flu tests just saved up and ready to go for this situation in our house.
I have found it because I've got physicians in my family, my wife's family.
Yeah.
A lot of times you deal with somebody like that, you would think, okay, great, I'm going to be nurtured, I'm going to get bedside manner. I bet she really doesn't take great care of you when you're sick like you think you ought to be taken care of.
No, as I am often told, her patients are the world to her, and I am her husband, not her patient.
I think I've heard something similar in the past. I would love to get your thoughts on stuff that's happened since we last visited. I think we talked about Brian Kelly maybe the last time you were here, but also Hugh Freeze. He was shown the door on Saturday. Your thoughts on Hugh no longer being the coach at Auburn?
Oh, my golly. Whoever could have seen that not working out. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I told Conrad that I was going to ask you this when I got on air, and I really, Landrum, want you to think hard about this. Is Auburn any better off for having hired Hugh Freeze than they would have been if they had just given the job to Cadillac Williams?
Given maybe
I say no, and the reason I say no is because I think Hugh Freeze was an outstanding recruiter. And I think what he was able to do building that roster would have been it was better than what Carnell could have done, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know what wins and losses look like, but yeah, he did a good job of bringing that in. I don't know if the wins and losses, though, to answer your question, how much difference there are there. I mean, Cadillac, he might have won over a ranked team one more time than Hugh did.
Yeah, I think I don't know that I am ready to just rest on Hugh is an outstanding recruiter and what would Cadillac have done, because it's funny. I'll bring up a little bit of Jock's history here for you from my time living in Birmingham. I cannot remember who the guest was that was on, but this would have been back when Alabama was looking for a coach to replace Dennis Franchione. Okay. And whoever the guest was said to the great Herb Winchus, you know, the name Bear Bryant doesn't resonate with 18-year-olds anymore the way it used to, and Alabama's going to have to get used to that. I would say, given how fast the media moves now, I don't know that the name Hugh Freeze resonates with 18-year-olds the way that it used to. Yes, he got talent, but he didn't seem to do much with them, so how good of a recruiter does that really make you?
Hello again, everybody.
Oh, it's just like driving home from college.
That's right. Now you bring it. You raise a good question.
I mean, look, it keeps talent away from your chief two rivals, and that's awesome. But I am yet to see any of these great players that chose Auburn over Alabama or Georgia become the defining talent of their class that we were told they were going to be.
So you've seen all of the names, potential hot board names. How much discussion they get from John Cohen or whoever he's absolutely talking to remains to be seen. But is there one obvious fit that you think, yep, that's perfect, that's who I'd go after?
Well, Langer, one that you and I were talking the other week about, like, Summerall seems like the no-brainer at Tulane. Like, it seems like that this should happen pretty quickly. What I think Auburn needs to take advantage of with John Summerall is, the other program that would very much like to hire John Summerall is the place where he used to be an assistant on the staff, and that is Ole Miss. And they have to wait for Lane to make a decision before they can even take step one. If I am John Cohen, I am moving people aside to get that deal done as quickly as possible. I really don't know who the second name would be that makes sense, that is in like the class of guys they are going for. I can give you some off-the-board thoughts that I have had, but realistically, I can't see how Auburn would not be Summerall or bust in this situation.
All right, let's play this out, though. One aspect of this Auburn team that's been really, really good has been the defense. Durkin takes over as interim coach. They get a win over Vanderbilt. They beat Mercer. Let's say either a win over Alabama or close. There's that word again. A close loss to Alabama in the Iron Bowl. DJ Durkin, do you consider him?
No. No? Like, you're not eating the buyout to go hire the defensive coordinator. Get the hell out of here.
It's $15 million, though.
Yeah, I understand. Like, that's real money. I get that it's not Brian Kelly money, but I am not only eating the buyout, but suffering the embarrassment that the money people at Auburn now suffer, which is everybody from 10 miles away could have seen Hugh Freeze was not going to work. And they have to admit, we were wrong. I don't think you're doing that if you don't think you can zero in and land big game here right now. I'm sorry. If DJ Durkin is where they end up, I will, as an Alabama fan, I will enjoy it and hope they keep him for years, because it's not like his tenure at Maryland was so promising. Remember, the last time this guy was a head coach, his team threatened to quit if he was reinstated as the coach. There is no way in hell Auburn is going to make that guy the head coach.
Okay.
You're there in Alabama. You know better than me.
I just say mark it down. No, I'm not claiming anything, but I think his name is probably getting some consideration. Depends on, I think, a lot.
Would it surprise you based on the fact that they hired Hugh Freeze?
Fair point.
I was about to throw that out there, Pat. If Hugh Freeze was we could see it coming. I don't know. I think you could do worse than DJ Durkin, but I'll duck now.
Oh, man, Landrum, I will take that bet. I don't think you could.
Oh, I think you could.
I really don't. Not on purpose, you couldn't. Now, all of that being said, I thought the Harsin hire was going to work out. I did not realize that he didn't think you had to recruit when you became a football coach in the SEC.
Well,
according to the Harsons, it did work out because he got paid all that money to go away.
I guess in that case,
people want to criticize Brian Harsin, and Brian Harsin was a man before his time. He saw the NIL coming. He knew he didn't.
Why do I need to recruit?
He didn't have to recruit high school players.
Yeah. Lane's doing it. I'll do it.
Yeah. What the heck? I'll just stay here in Auburn, and not do anything.
Now, there's the one that interests me. Is there any chance at all they make a run at Lane again?
No,
right?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No. And twice on Sunday. No. Lane's not going anywhere.
Too many burned bridges.
There's no way.
You don't think so?
Well, the report was Jimmy Sexton was asking, all right, if you want to be in the conversation to get Lane out of Oxford, $15 million is where we start. $15 million.
I think
you're going to pay that for a coach who's never appeared in a conference championship game in the SEC and has not, to this point, gotten to a college football playoff. All of that could change, but $15 million for that.
No, if $15 million is the starting price, you're right. Absolutely not. I do think Lane is built for the portal era of college football, but that is a high price to ask with no receipts to show.
Yep. Sure is. So where do you think LSU is going to end up? We were just talking about Lane Kiffin. Think Summerall? Who are you thinking?
Well, is the governor of Louisiana going to get his way and Donald Trump is going to make the hire? Because if so, I guess Tommy Tuberville, right? Or Mike Gundy. I don't know. Honestly, LSU should be it should be a slam dunk. They should be able to hire whoever they want. But the people I talk to down in Baton Rouge who are sourced up say they feel like this thing that Landry being so public with his I'm going to take over, or at least I'm going to, be the face of this thing, has really mucked up what they think they can do down there. I kind of thought that was where it seemed likely that Lane was going to land if he was leaving. However, if things are not as clear as we thought they were, maybe that's a landing spot for James Franklin. I don't know. I just don't know what to think the LSU opening is with the dysfunction at LSU. It should be the best job in the country.
Since you are an Alabama graduate, today is the NFL trade deadline, and you do a very popular podcast about the Carolina Panthers. Panthers had a big win. Again, what are y'all, 5-4 now? Is that right?
5-4.
Yeah,
head above water.
Well, today is NFL trade deadline, and we've already seen one blockbuster with Sauce Gardner leaving the Jets, and now former Alabama defensive lineman Quinnen Williams, he is headed to the Dallas Cowboys.
Boy, the Cowboys are just snapping up everybody. What is the price tag that they paid for Quinnen Williams?
I am waiting.
Okay.
This just came down because I know that they got 2 first-rounders for Sauce Gardner from Indianapolis. So,
boy, Woody Johnson, he's freeing up some stuff, isn't he?
He's like going, all right, might as well just get rid
planning
of
a big Christmas, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, the Cowboys are sending another first-round pick to the Jets, so they've picked up 3 first-round picks today.
Dude,
wow.
Good for the Jets, especially because, this Colts thing is not sustainable, right? We've seen them every time they play legitimate competition, they just crumble. This is a huge deal for the Jets. And does this mean we're staring down the barrel of a Jets team with 4 first-round picks next year? No, I'm sorry, 3 next year.
3.
The year after.
It'd be 3 next year for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a heck of a package for Arch Manning.
That is the thing, right?
What are you talking about? It's going to be Mendoza. Come on, guys. What are you talking about?
I've told my son it's going to be really hard with this next NFL draft coming up if the Jets or the Saints have the first pick because, A, I don't want to see Ty Simpson get ruined by the Jets, and I cannot bring myself to root for the New Orleans Saints no matter who the quarterback is.
All right, back to the college coaching question. DJ Durkin or Bill Belichick?
Well, one of them is a 6-time Super Bowl champ and is done. Obviously, he was going to come in and revolutionize college football. I assume that's how it's going, right?
Yeah,
I haven't checked up lately. Yeah.
They're playing better ball.
They are playing better, but look, they're only losing by 1 right now.
So close.
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess you do have to point out that Bill Belichick didn't kill a kid.
That is Demetri Ravanos, otherwise known as Meat, joining us here on the Higginbotham Hotline.
That was Demetri. That was not me.
That was Demetri. It's not Pat. It's not Landrum. It's not Conrad.
And it was not Molly.
It was not. Yes, that's the one.
Sometimes it's hard to decipher between those two. But what's coming up in the bubble bath later on SEC Unfiltered?
I don't know. I got asked by the folks at Awful Announcing to write a piece about Jeff Landry and the LSU coaching search this week that I just literally turned in moments before I came on with you guys. So I haven't had a chance to think about the bubble bath yet.
Well, we hope you feel better. Thanks for taking time with us.
Yeah, thanks for muscling through.
Sorry about the Type A flu.
Listen, I will do anything that you guys need from me during football season. That is why I'm here.
All right. Well, take care of yourself. Enjoy a nice hot bath coming up later this week.
Thanks, Meat.
All right, boys. Talk to you later.
See ya. Wow. Meat.
Yep.
So basically,
I thought we were going to get through that without one of those comments.
So basically, he would be the equivalent of Brian Kelly.
Not crazy about. How about our friends at Mandu? They're right there in downtown Homewood. Mandu is electrical muscle stimulation fitness. What that means, it's all FDA approved. They hook you up to a machine. They have a trainer that puts you through a workout, and they have customized, tailor-made workouts, whatever you're trying to do, whether it's your glutes, calves, arms, shoulders, chest, or just feel better. Building up endurance for maybe you're competing in something. All kinds of different things. But here's the thing. It's all FDA approved, and because of the technology, 15 minutes in Mandu is the equivalent to 6 hours in a gym. I promise you, absolutely promise you, if you try Mandu, stick with Mandu, you're going to get results. I've gotten results so many others have. Your first visit's free. They'll put you through the workout, and right now you mentioned Jocks, 10% off the life of your Mandu membership. 15% off if you mention Jocks and you're a student. Holidays coming up, this is a great gift idea or just something for you to try to feel better and maybe look better prior to the start of the holidays. Mandu in downtown Homewood, MANDUU.com. Check out the testimonials, watch the videos, everything you need there. Get in there and tell Paul and the gang that Landrum from Jock sent you.
Diana Rossini is reporting that the former Winona High School Alabama star Quinnen Williams is heading to Dallas, Texas from the New York Jets. It will cost Dallas a second-round pick in 2026, a first-round pick in 2027.
Ooh.
I think Dallas needed him last night.
Yeah.
Today's the NFL deadline for trading players. They want to be available in the postseason. And Quinnen Williams, former Alabama star, he signed that big deal with the Jets a couple years ago. But he is heading south to the Lone Star State. Dallas Cowboys will be his next home. As, man, it's pretty crazy what's been going on, especially the last 24 hours. You had Sauce Gardner traded away from the New York Jets earlier today, and now Quinnen Williams. Don't you know the New York media, I'm sure they're handling this extremely well.
Don't they always?
Well, let me tell you about Big Whiskeys because they are the place for great food of all varieties with a full menu ranging from apps, salads, burgers to steaks. They also have plenty of screens to catch all the games all weekend long, so you can go in after games on Friday night or Saturday. The kitchen is open late. Also, school is back in, so you probably have a lot going on. So Big Whiskeys, they offer online ordering and curbside pickup for those busy evenings. They have happy hour in the afternoons and late nights. And don't forget about their outdoor patio and green space. It's great with games and also great for families. So go check them out off Highway 459 near the Hoover Met.
So Steve Sarkisian met with the media yesterday, and Steve Sarkisian had a thought about what is going on with all the coaching changes around college football. Take a listen to what Steve Sarkisian had to say.
Everybody wants to fire their coach. Who are you going to hire? There's all these jobs out there right now. Who's everybody going to hire? I don't know. We'll find out. Somebody's got to be the head coach. The amount of, 1 week you're a hero, the next week you're a zero mentality that fan bases and people want to have. Surely coaches want some security to what they sign up to go do. We work really hard, and I get it. We all want to win, and we're all busting our tails to try to win, and sometimes things don't go your way. Especially in our conference, it's tough, and so the idea that coaches don't want some security in the jobs that they take, that doesn't quite make sense to me. It should be like, man, somewhere in here, somebody has got to be willing to say, hey, let's see if this can work itself out. Not every year, not all 16 teams in the SEC are going to go to the playoff. It's just not reality. We're talking about trying to get 4 or 5 teams in this year. Last year we got 3.
Spoken from a guy who has everything at his disposal, that lost to Georgia twice when the table was set for him last year. In my opinion, has missed the mark. I know that they're still in the conversation, but based on the expectations for Texas, yeah, that sounds like a guy who consistently has underachieved. Based on expectations.
Yeah. I mean, he does bring up a legitimate point. Who are they going to hire? Who are all these people going to hire?
I guess we'll find out, but you got hired. You got hired away from a staff, and where were you before that? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
I'd be careful if I was guys like Sark, where you still got games left, meaningful games left on your schedule, and drop a couple of more and see where the sentiment of that Texas Longhorn fan base is going to be. But you're right, and not every hire is going to be a home run. Whoever LSU hires to replace Brian Kelly, in my opinion, a top 10 college football coach, there's going to be a lot of scrutiny there. Are they going to get backlash if it goes worse? Yeah, sure they will. Auburn will continue to get backlash if whoever John Cohen hires doesn't work out, and the list goes on and on. But the demands, because of players getting paid, the amount of money that's getting infused into these programs, there's an expectation, and it's got to be a business mindset. And I know it's tough. I love college football and the pageantry, and a lot of that's still there. But at the end of the day, everybody's getting paid to do a job, and it's all about money.
All right, here's another coach having an opportunity to meet with the media. This is what Bill O'Brien, his exchange with some Boston College media. Keep in mind, I think Boston College is 1-8 currently. Take a listen.
Coach, wondering, do you have a message for the fans? Obviously losing to Notre Dame, Catholic school rival, 1-8 now in the season BC. I've heard from a lot of fans. They're just really down.
I'm really glad. You know, I'm glad you're down. I'm not down. Nobody's down. We're fighting. We're competing. You know, it's the second year of this program, Mike. You always come in here with these down questions. Like, you show up like once a month or something like that. You come in here with these down questions. I'm not down. I don't know what year you graduated from BC, but this is a program that we're building. Nobody here's down. We're positive. We're going to show up and play our asses off against SMU. You can go out there in your dark, clouded world or whatever it is and do what you want to do. We're not down. The sun is up, and we're fighting. That's my message to the fans. What's up, Trevor?
How you doing? SMU leads the...
Okay. Bill O'Brien making friends up on Chestnut Hill.
But again, what did Boston College really expect? Bill O'Brien and taking over that program. I think Bill O'Brien's a really good coach.
He's building it.
Some places it takes longer to build. I mean, Boston College has had their moments, but once they lost the Heisman hopeful dual-threat quarterback in Thomas Castellanos,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
that's when all of Bill's hopes went down the drain. You can't just replace a guy like Tommy C.
Is that what they call him? Tommy C?
That's what I call him.
Oh, okay.
It's easier than saying Castellanos.
So when was the last time that Boston College was relevant?
When Matt Ryan was there, like
No,
18 years ago?
No, they've had some relevance here in the past. I would say 7-8 years.
No.
No,
No.
we go back further than that.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 2007.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the time that I was talking.
Well, I'm not looking at
No, I
what
know.
you have at your disposal or Pat, but
They haven't won
Seems
more
like
than
they were
8 games since
no.
2008.
What I'm thinking about is it was always one of those tough games, whether it was Clemson or somebody else that was unbeaten and playing Chestnut Hill. You knew you were going to get a battle, and they played some close games, and they had a couple of upsets, but then they would fall on their face, which gives us a lot of mediocre at best seasons. I went 9-3, and was that Flutie's year?
We're going back to Doug Flutie.
Yes.
In the history of Boston College football, are you ready for this? 3 double-digit win seasons.
All right.
Ever. 3.
And 2 of them were back-to-back in 06 and 07.
And that goes back to 1893.
That's when they had Revere playing quarterback.
Yeah, 2006, 2007, they won double digits. They finished second in the Atlantic Conference of the ACC. Tom O'Brien was the head coach. They played in the Meineke Car Care Bowl. Remember that one? In 2007, they went 11-3. They were first in the Atlantic side of the ACC, and they played in the Champs Sports Bowl. Won that game 11-10.
This is pretty cool. So if you go back to 2013, with the exception of the 2019 year, every other year in that stretch, they've gone either 7-6, 6-6, or 3-9.
Yeah.
So
Why
very
are we-
consistent.
This would be like going through the basketball history of name a school that's really good in football but has never had basketball history. Why are you guys not pointing out that Boston College has 26 Frozen Four appearances? 26.
That's huge.
That is huge. Second highest total among all schools.
That's big time.
They've won 5 national titles on the ice, their last coming in 2012. There's history there. It's just not football a whole lot. But Bill O'Brien, once he gets fired from that job, guess what? He's going to get paid all that money.
Is he getting paid a lot of money there?
Relative
Let's
to
see
what
what he
me
makes.
and you are making, yes, he is, Pat. That is considerable.
No,
I think he's
realize
making.
that.
My guess is he's making $4.5, $5 million a year.
For Bill O'Brien?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 5 or 6, maybe.
Well, reportedly, he interviewed at Georgia Tech, and he didn't think the money was enough.
Yeah, since it's a private institution, might be a little bit. I'm not really sure if USA Today's database has that in there.
I'm sure Georgia Tech's happy they got Brent Key instead of old
Yeah,
Bob.
it's worked out pretty well.
Okay, I just typed in Bill O'Brien's salary guess, and it says approximately $5 million per year.
Wow.
From sources that indicate a base salary around $5 million. All right. Well, cost of living up there and everything else. But no, Bill's going to be fine. Going to be just fine.
We will continue on. We got a few more minutes left here at Social Taco. You're listening to Jock's Three-Man Front.
Yeah. Welcome back in. We're live from Social Taco here in Homewood. Appreciate our Great Jocks listeners who joined us here in the Taco Terrace, where you can join us as we broadcast 10 to 2 every single Tuesday here in the Square in Homewood. Also to all of you, and especially our guest and Our friends at Prize Picks, unfortunately, we came up short last night with our show picks that we had for Prize Picks, but we get another stab at it tonight. You can join millions of users. Sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app and Prize Picks. It's really simple to play. You're going to pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get the picks right, you could certainly cash in. You download the Prize Pick app. If you haven't done so, download it today. Use code WJOX to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WJOX, $50 in lineups after you play the first $5 lineup. You don't have to win to be eligible for the bonus. We do have college football that is coming up tonight, and I cannot believe we are not celebrating
The MAC.
Maction, Pat.
That's right.
So I might lean on you a little bit. I can't pronounce this guy's name, but we're going to try. University of Ohio Bobcats taking on Miami of Ohio. Oxford, right?
Yeah.
Chuck Martin. C. Bangura, running back. You familiar with him?
I am.
Okay. You're selling it there. All right. His longest rushing yard tonight, 19.5. Does he break off a run for more than 19.5 yards, or does he not, which means we would go less?
Oh, I would say less.
So you don't think he has a long run tonight?
I do not.
All right. We will go less on that one. Jordan Gant, who I've seen, Akron running back, taking on UMass tonight. 95.5 rushing yards for Jordan Gant against UMass at home. I'm going to go more.
Okay.
You say no?
I would go less because he's only averaging 77 yards per game rushing.
But it's that porous UMass beat-up front.
You just came from Massachusetts. Tell me about the barometric pressure. How was it?
It's nasty up there, man.
It messed with your sinuses.
It is.
Back, you were sick.
Yep, and you're a twitch slower.
So all of a sudden you're asking a running back to go 20 yards over his typical average rush per game in that barometric pressure that you just left.
Okay, all right, we'll go less. We'll go less. By the way, watching their version of Sideline up there for their high school football really makes you appreciate it how good we have it here in the state of Alabama. Yeah. All right, if we hit on both of those, we're a winner. You can be a winner too. Download the Prize Picks app today. Code WJOX Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
All right, let's do some Pat Ponders brought to you by Courtesy GMC in Trustful.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
Get by and see them at courtesybirmingham.com, or you can go by and see them in person right off of I-459 exit 32. All right, question number 1. What will be the biggest statement the committee makes tonight? The team's dominance, strength of schedule, or TV ratings? What will be the biggest statement that the committee will give us tonight in the CFP rankings?
I think that they will honor schedule with this initial one. They let it know right out of the gate, this committee means business. We're serious.
Do I have to pick one of the options that you presented us with?
You always do, Conrad.
Just create
This is
one
not
of
a
your
new
own,
game.
then.
No, do not do that. See, why do you do that? Why do you do this,
Landrum,
Conrad?
I'm with you. I think it'll be scheduled.
Why do you do this?
I was just going to say head-to-head because they have multiple opportunities tonight to let us know how important that metric is to them with Texas, Oklahoma, and Miami, Notre Dame. So does that fit into scheduling?
Sure.
Yeah,
okay, scheduling.
I think so.
All right, so Molly, you saying scheduling too?
Yeah, I think schedule.
All right, so schedule for all of us. You agree?
I do.
Okay.
I think they will make it a point of emphasis tonight, for sure. All right, question number 2. If you're a fan of Alabama, what number tonight would actually make you feel confident, and what number sends you into panic mode?
Well, a number that would make me feel confident would be top 5. I'm in panic mode if I'm closer to the the 10 range because based on the impressive wins that Alabama has, if they're still putting so much value in that opening week loss to Florida State, that gives me pause thinking, okay, well, can Alabama actually afford to lose one more game?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I came up with.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a 99% chance they're one of the top 4 teams in the rankings tonight. So, I mean, I guess that gives you I mean, it is what it is right now. It doesn't really mean anything, but it makes you feel good. The only thing, honestly, that I think they could do tonight that I could potentially see them doing in some warped way is if Alabama somehow found themselves behind a one-loss Virginia team in the rankings. And their explanation for that was, well, Virginia beat the Florida State team that beat Alabama, so they have one loss, so we view them as comparable. And if that happens, I will have a lot of things to say tomorrow. I'll just say that. But yes, that would concern me.
Yeah, I'd probably go bottom 4 for Alabama, but I don't think that'll happen because clearly the committee, they like Georgia, and with Alabama having that head-to-head, I think that will kind of bump them up a little bit. But I'm with Conrad. I think they'll be in the top 4, but I would be concerned if they were kind of like you said, behind a Virginia or more so in that bottom 4 category.
All right, that kind of plays into our next question. How much of tonight's reaction will actually matter 3 weeks from now, or are we just arguing over a temporary outrage?
I think maybe there might be a piece of it that still resonates and matters at the end of the day, but most of it, like most years, works itself out.
Yeah, see, I was kind of going like maybe 10% of it, but what tonight is really about, right, is it's what precedent is the committee going to set, and what are they telling you in the first rankings? Will that be applicable when we get to the final rankings, or are they going to continue to move the goalpost each and every week? That's kind of that's the main thing about tonight. The actual rankings,
I was about to say, actual rankings, I feel like I don't really care personally because it's obviously going to change as the weeks keep going on. It's more so about the guidelines that they're going to put around.
All right, next question. A football genie gives you a chance to improve the Auburn football team for the final 3 games of the season. You could bring back any former Auburn player except Cam Newton and make him 21 years old again to play for the rest of this season. Who would it be?
Nick Marshall. He can play quarterback. If you needed him at wideout, he could do that. And Nick Marshall can play in a mean cornerback as well.
That's a good pick.
That's a good pick.
I
could
will
probably
go,
kick if you needed him to.
Yeah, maybe so. I will go, since this is really the only thing that's worked for them offensively at times. Again, you need more than just a running game, but yeah, bring back Bo Jackson at 21 years old.
I was going to say that.
Let him still be able to tackle him.
Let him carry it 40 times a game.
Yes, just give him the ball.
So you go Nick.
I was thinking about, I was about to go back to like the Sugar Jordan days.
Pat Sullivan.
Yeah, I thought about maybe Pat Sullivan. But I think based on what you have and what we know that Auburn currently has, that Nick Marshall, you could probably find a few plays that he was good at. And made it difficult for defenses.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
More fun to watch than this offense, at least, yeah.
All right, that's today's Pat Punters.
All right. Very good. Who would you bring back?
You can't go wrong with Bo.
No, you really can't.
Okay, if Cam Newton was on the board, would we all say Cam Newton, though? Because I would.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
For sure.
That's why he was taken off.
I figured, yeah.
So I kind of cheated and used the guy that was the closest thing to Cam at Auburn.
He was good.
Just a few years later. Yeah, he really was. All right, we continue. We are live at Social Taco here in Homewood. 3-man front continues right here on Josh.
A few more minutes left to go in the program. We'll be back at studio tomorrow. Some of our featured guests will include the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, also Trey Wallace from Outkick. He will be along. Get his feelings on tonight's college football playoff rankings. Sometimes Conrad sees good things, other times bad things. This is what we call the worst thing I've seen.
This is the worst thing I've seen.
Been in quarantine, and I need to get out and party. Woo! What's better than beach and a few drinks and Jeeps? Man, getting better than that. Law enforcement's definitely made their visitability and made people chill out and not be as crazy. The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
All right, we have a pretty interesting one today, to say the least. I think we'll have it'll be interesting to see the reaction from the listeners.
It's not sad, right?
No, I wouldn't say it's sad.
Okay.
It's just, strange.
All right.
Maybe would be the strangest thing that I've seen today, would be maybe a better way to describe this. So we're all familiar with Tom Brady, obviously the greatest quarterback of all time. And he recently made an announcement. This was actually earlier this morning, and I've seen this story all over social media in the past couple of hours. So we're going to go back a couple of years now to the end of 2023, which was a very sad time for Tom Brady and his family, because his dog, that has been his family dog for years and years, by the name of Lua, had passed away in late of 2023. So very sad, obviously, as they were getting over the loss of their dog. Well, they welcomed in a similar-looking dog. It's the same breed. A little while later, named Junie, and that is now their family dog is Junie for the Tom Brady and his children. Well, he made the announcement earlier this morning that his dog Junie is actually a clone of his dog Lua, who had passed away back in 2023.
What?
So, yes, so this was done in collaboration with a company called Colossal Biosciences. They are a biotech company that Tom Brady is an investor in. And before his dog Lua had passed away, they were able to take blood samples from his dog, which then allowed them to clone Tom Brady's dog for him. So apparently this has happened before. So apparently Barbra Streisand, Paris Hilton are some of the popular celebrities that have done a procedure like this in the past. But again, it's just kind of a bizarre situation of somebody cloning an animal, which I had never heard of. I didn't know that was actually possible outside of goats, I guess. But this was Tom Brady. This was his comment on the situation. He said, quote, "I love my animals. They mean the world to me and my family. A few years ago, I worked with Colossal Biosciences and leveraged their non-invasive cloning technology through a simple blood draw of our family's elderly dog before she passed away. He said the company gave my family a second chance with a clone of our beloved dog, and he's excited about how their technology can help both families losing their beloved pets while helping to also save endangered species." So Tom Brady confirming today that his dog is actually a clone of his last dog that passed away 2 years ago.
I would do it. If I had crazy money like Tom Brady, I would do it.
See, that's my first question.
For George, our last dog.
How much did you say that it was?
I'm reading here, and this is just AI, but it says cloning a dog typically costs around $50,000.
Wow, $50,000.
But he's an investor in the company. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, whether it's $50,000 or they're like, "Hey, Tom,
They did it for free. Let's be honest.
Let's go ahead and keep the lab open today, and let's run some blood." I would do it for my dog.
See, and that's kind of the thing where I'm split on it. Like, it's weird, but also I know when my dog dies, I'm going to be so devastated that I would absolutely do this if I had the opportunity.
Pat, would you do it?
Yes.
Because
if I had the money,
lost
absolutely.
one a few years ago.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Now, humans, I'm different on that. But I do it on a dog.
Don't think we need to be cloning humans.
I'm not real well versed on the whole cloning thing, I guess.
I'm just going to say we should probably stay away from doing that with humans.
Yeah. But so with cloning, it's basically a duplicate, right? But is that, so am I going to get the same personality of my dog?
See, that would be my question. Like, is it because I would imagine, right, in terms of genetics and things, it probably looks very similar, but yeah, can you guarantee that it's going to have the same behavioral patterns and mannerisms?
Right.
Because, what if you clone the dog but it doesn't love you?
Will this dog not eat my stuff like the last dog didn't eat my stuff?
These are important questions, Landrum,
Right.
that only Tom Brady would have the answers to, I guess.
Does the clone dog do what George used to do, and he would use the pine straw areas of my yard, not my grass, to do his business, which I always appreciated. He was not taught to do that. It was just a tip of the cap from him. He'd see me cutting it, I guess. Like, I'm not supposed to go out there. Man, I miss him. Well, it ended up being sad. Sorry, I made it sad for myself. Thank you, Conrad.
You're welcome. That is the strangest thing that I've seen. And somebody, Posey, just chimed in on the Courtesy GMC text line, said they've cloned wolves in Canada recently, apparently.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Would you clone Barbara Streisand or Paris Hilton?
The person?
Well, yeah, you said it. You said that they had done it.
Oh, with their dogs. No, with the people.
I was thinking, who would clone those two? Maybe somebody.
Themselves? Wasn't it, this is kind of different. Isn't it Ted Williams who, has his body preserved in case they ever have the technology to bring people back to life?
Yeah, the cryogenics.
Yeah, he's frozen in Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I
thought. And somebody brings up a good point. What are the chances that there's a little Tom Brady that's growing in that lab right now?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's, yeah. Yep.
TB 12.2.
Well, if you're keeping score
in baby Uggs,
in Louisiana, they have now got him a president. They hired the guy from McNeese, as everyone had predicted. But here's a little kicker. They have hired the University of Alabama provost, Jim Dalton. He is going to be the chancellor of the Baton Rouge campus there at LSU. So they have
ultimate gamesmanship
on the week of the Alabama LSU. Yep. They take away the provost from
When they
Alabama.
start hitting you in the academic area, things have gotten bad in Baton Rouge.
Yep.
That's going to do it for us. We appreciate all of our guests, all of you joining us.